Hey, it's Andrew with GGTL. We're here at the 2K booth checking out Spec Ops The Line. I'm with Cory Davis from Yager. Sir, it's great to see you.
Thanks so much for coming to see the game.
Hey, anytime. Why don't you let us know a little bit about the game?
Sure. So, Spec Ops The Line is a third-person military-themed shooter with a strong focus on a dark and mature narrative that follows a squad of Delta Force operators into the heart of darkness in Dubai after it's been ravaged by cataclysmic sandstorms and left in no man's land.
Excellent. So what exactly is the difference now? A lot of people, they put first-person shooters under fire for being the same, following the same sort of pathways. What's different about Spec Ops?
Yeah, well, we're a third-person shooter to start with, which is a little bit unique, but obviously there's a lot of third-person shooters out there as well. But the thing that's really important to us with Spec Ops The Line that I think differentiates it is that we really have an unflinching take on the darker, more emotional side of the soldier's journey. And so we actually follow the same three characters on a journey into Dubai, and we stay with them the entire time and build a really intimate relationship with them. So as events in the story start to get really twisted and dark, really those events become very meaningful because you've grown close to these characters.
It's great to see an emphasis on storyline in situations like this where the action in the demo was fantastic.
Thank you.
And if the story is on par with that, I'm excited to play more of it for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Now, while playing this demo, I did notice you've taken cues from a lot of other games, which is fantastic. A cover system, being able to actually shoot through cover. We noticed by pressing the right bumper and left bumper, you actually have different commands for your AI. I want to talk a little bit about those mechanics?
So yeah, like obviously when you set out to build a game like this, especially when your focus is narrative, you want to avoid trying to reinvent the wheel with a lot of these mechanics that you're developing. And so we wanted to build a strong foundation to be able to tell this story. And so what we did was actually we used a lot of games for reference. One of the ones that comes to mind is Gears of War. Obviously, they sort of reinvented the cover system and innovated it in a new way in this generation, and we really took a lot of cues from them. I really appreciate the work that they did on their development team. There's a lot of other games as well that sort of came into play and gave us inspiration. A lot of the squad-based shooters that are out there, Ghost Recon and things like that, Rainbow Six. But really, our squad is a narrative tool as well. That's sort of the difference between a squad and a lot of other games and this one, is that their relationship evolves over time based on the decisions that you make and the events that are taking place in the story. So even the way they react to squad commands and things like that is much different towards the end of the game than it is at the start.
Excellent. Is this emotional attachment, tether, if you will, going to carry over in any kind of multiplayer?
So we're not talking too much about the multiplayer today. We're actually going to have a big reveal coming out in a couple of weeks with some hands-on opportunities for that. But definitely everything you're seeing in single player ties into that multiplayer experience. It should give you a different perspective on a lot of the factions that are there and the events that are taking place in the single player game as well.
Excellent. So why Dubai? Why Dubai?
To me, Dubai is the most amazing city on the planet. We can create a sci-fi environment, or we can build a game in Dubai. And to me, that's really interesting, that there's a place on this earth that's as amazing as Dubai. To me, Dubai is sort of our modern-day, Giza Plateau. It's where our pyramids are being built. It's where 1,000 years from now, people will contemplate how the hell we used our technology to do these things. And so, building levels was just amazing in this space. Being able to use the vertical architecture, all the great, brilliant materials that are there, like gold and marble and glass, reflective surfaces, and creating a cover system that's able to adapt to lots of different sizes and shapes of cover. You're taking cover on sports cars and on really decorative, ornamental crystal objects and things like that. Dubai is just a really inspiring place. And then, with the twist that we've added with the sandstorms having cut it off from civilization, we're able to tell a very sort of personal story about these characters that's not connected to a political conflict that's going on in other parts of the world. We're really focusing on what these soldiers are experiencing with their boots on the ground and the feelings and emotions that they have.
Well, it certainly seems like it, especially, you said, just being an expensive city in general.
Yeah, it is.
You get depressed when you see those sports cars, those awesome cities just war-torn.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play more of it.
Thanks a lot.
It looks fantastic. Can't wait to see it.
Much appreciated.